Welcome Armwrestlers, I'm Pradeep Singh from Arm Wrestling News. Today we will talk about the Dave Chaffee versus Levan Saginashvili super match that just happened today or yesterday depending on where you live. And I will share you the statements and the opinions of pro arm wrestlers about this match. But before that, I would like to share with you my opinion about this match. So my prediction going into this match has always been 6-0 Levan Saginashvili, and I was 100% confident in that prediction. When I was on Devon's channel, I asked Devon this question and Devon answered the same. His prediction was also 6-0 Levan. So Dave Chaffee's plan was, he self-admitted it, his plan was to slip and get to the straps and try to figure out to do something from there. But his plan was completely destroyed by Levan.
Great job by Levan. He's so strong. I couldn't get to the straps. That was my game plan, but his hand's so strong. It went out the door, and that was it. He's a beast.
He couldn't even slip, not even once against Levan. When he did slip, it was because he did an elbow foul. He never got the chance to slip and get to the straps in the entire match. And people ask me and a lot of other YouTubers or arm wrestlers this question very often. What do you think about the Levan versus Devon, or what do you think about the Levan versus Michael Todd match? And I have always mentioned, I have always showed this concern with people that I'm not sure that Levan would let Devon or Michael slip. And that is what happened in this Dave Chaffee match too. He did not let them slip. And what gives me that opinion is the Levan Saginashvili versus Tim Bresnan match. Tim Bresnan has never been beaten like that. Levan destroyed him within seconds in every round and he couldn't even slip. He contained him so well with his cup and pronation. I have never seen anyone do that. So that's my concern for anyone who faces Levan. So people were complaining about a lot of things as expected. First one was the strict rules. Why Dave was fouled out in one round. So man, what were you expecting? Do you think moving in a referee's grip should be allowed? Because that's what Dave did. I don't think anyone agrees with that. So I don't see any problem with that. Second one was the hook. Yeah, he did beat Dave, but he didn't go in a hook. That statement comes from people who did not watch the entire match. Because most of them watched the highlights. And the full match, during the full match, it was very clear that Levan offered Dave Chaffee to go in a hook in round 5. Both of them were carved in, cupped in, and the match was slightly on Dave Chaffee's side. And still, Levan was confident. He was ready to go. Both were ready to go. And Dave Chaffee bailed out of that situation. He shook off the grip and restarted and went for the top roll. Dave Chaffee was literally scared to go in a hook against Levan. That is the truth, guys. And people were complaining about weight, that Levan was way too heavy for him. What does that even mean? It is a super heavyweight category. It is not Levan's fault. If you are 150 kilos and I'm 250 kilos, it is not my fault that you are outweighed by 100 kilos. It is your fault, so do something. Gain weight, juice up, blame your genetics, or cut down to a lower weight category. It is totally your responsibility. So I don't see any point in complaining about weight. Then there was these usual steroid talks that Levan is juiced. Everyone is juiced at the top level. Jet lags, people were complaining about jet lag, like Levan was crawling to the event. He was also flying, maybe not as much as Dave Chaffee, but Dave arrived a couple of days ago, before the match, couple of days before the match. So I'm not sure what jet lag has to do with that. And I think people don't really know how to compare matches. Dave Chaffee has a really strong hook, but he lost his wrist slightly to Rimkus and completely to Gennady Quiquinha. I know he did beat both of them. He did beat Gennady also. But there was one round when Gennady cracked his wrist. He was looking at the crowd, shouting at the crowd and posing at Dave Chaffee. You are not in a good condition when Gennady Quiquinha stops you and starts screaming at you. So as soon as I saw that match, that he lost his wrist to Gennady, I was completely sure there is no way, not 1% chance that Dave Chaffee's wrist is going to hold against Levan. Levan has made a career out of pronation, out of taking people's wrist. He top rolled the best top roller in the world. And I don't know how some people were expecting that Dave Chaffee is going to top roll Levan just because he top rolled Trubin once. I made this post on Facebook, Arm Wrestling Uncensored group, And there are two things to consider about this match when people were giving you the predictions that Dave Chaffee can once foul out Levan. Why? He hasn't fouled out in last 24 rounds. Why would he do that now? So there are two things to consider about that. First one is patriotism. It is a really big thing. If I'm going against Levan, I think I can find a couple of guys who are willing to back me up with everything I say. They will even say that I will beat Levan. Patriotism is a really big thing. Those were the people who were saying Dave Chaffee is going to destroy Levan. And second one are the YouTubers. Not everyone, but most of them. There is a thing that if you are not an European, you always support a North American. That is just the case. I know that. And when your audience, over 80% of your audience support Dave Chaffee, you do not want to say that Levan is going to 6-0 Dave Chaffee and upset your audience. So that is what everyone did. They gave you a politically correct answer that the match is going to be close because, like I said, they don't want to upset you. So let's now listen to what pro arm wrestlers have to say about this match. Cobra Road said this.
Bowen's a pussy. You know? What are we talking about here?
I'm not kidding, man. This was his original reaction when he saw Levan dominating Dave Chaffee. On a serious note, Cobra said that Dave looked scared. He had broken his arm before and he thought if he goes in a hook against Levan, he might break something again. He was genuinely scared. Can you imagine that? Dave Chaffee, the strongest hook pullers of all time, scared to go in a hook against Levan. That is something really amazing. And Levan is primarily a top roller. He's not a hook arm wrestler. Engin Terzi. For the first time, Engin said that Levan may very well be the best arm wrestler. Not the best, the strongest arm wrestler of all time. He still did not use the word best of all time, so I'm not sure what he meant by that. Engin also commented about people complaining about almost everything. The weight. But the weight comment was the funniest. Engin nailed it. Devon Larratt said that Dave Chaffee looked really small and they did not belong in the same weight category. Like I also said in my last video, that time has gone when a 100 kg guy can dominate the super heavyweights. I think that weight limit is way past 100 kilos right now. Maybe even 125 kilos. Devon also said that Dave's style is to take everything away from your opponent. He doesn't like to give anything, he likes to take everything. And that style works only when you are the stronger man. And unfortunately for Dave, he wasn't the stronger man this time. Devon also said that Sabin Bedulescu is someone who can beat Levan because he is a man on a mission. I will talk about all the match suggestions for Levan, all the pros, the matches that they suggested in the next video. Neil Pickup also said that he was really surprised when Levan planted his elbow and he was ready to go in a hook, but Dave did not accept that offer. He was really surprised. And Neil also offered a match, not offered, but he said maybe Jerry could do something against Levan, and I totally do not agree with that statement. Again, I will talk about that in the next video. Marcio Barboza is the one who nailed it. The best explanation of this match I got from this man. Really sweet, really simple, and really accurate.
I mean, everybody knew that Levan was going to win, even though, you know, I was cheering for the American boys, you know.
So currently, I believe Levan is the #1 guy in the world. Devon Larratt has to prove it otherwise. Till then, Levan is #1. What are your thoughts? Who should be the next match for Levan? Can Vitali beat Levan in a few months after his movie? Who can beat him, man? Again, thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, Patreon. My name is Pradeep and I thank you so much for watching.